It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Tom Garrity, the commissioner and president of the USHL. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to work in professional sports?
Yeah, I think I grew up in Wisconsin, and as a young kid, I played sports and loved sports. And when I got through school, I thought if I'm going to do something, I'd really like to try to get involved with something in sports. So I actually started selling tickets for the Minnesota North Stars. That was my first job in sports. And then I just kind of have worked my way up, fortunately, working with a lot of good people. But I always knew if I was going to do something, I wanted it to be in sports.
How did you know that you wanted to become an owner and now become a commissioner of a league?
I'm sorry, what was that question, Brandon?
How did you know that you wanted to become an owner and now a commissioner of a league?
Well, that's a really good question. I never really knew I wanted to be either, but I got lucky to be part of both. So in 2012, some really good friends contacted me and said, "Hey, we're looking to buy a USHL franchise in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, along with a baseball team. And would you like to be part investor and help us run the day to day?" And I said, "Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. My wife is from South Dakota." And so it was just a natural fit. And then ultimately, getting involved with the USHL and getting to know the owners and working from that standpoint, when the opportunity for a commissioner's job presented itself, and I was lucky enough to be asked, I just kind of stepped into it. So both have been great opportunities for me, and I'm really glad that I got involved.
What was it like to become a co-owner your first professional team?
It was really fun. A lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. I have the background experience, or I had always done the day-to-day stuff, the sales, the marketing, the operation. So I had some good experience there. But to be part of the ownership group, working with a couple of really good friends who were excited about the teams that we were involved in, just made it that much more fun. So you kind of sit there from a business perspective and you're excited. You sit there from a team perspective and you're excited. And then you've got these 3 or 4 buddies that, you're all owning it together, and they made it a lot more fun.
What was it like being the co-owner of the Madison Capital Hockey Club?
It was fun. It was really fun. Ryan, and we had some other guys who were involved, and just a good group of guys. We launched the team from scratch, so we kind of revitalized the market in relationship to the USHL. I'm originally from that area, so that was a big positive. So it was a lot of fun, and working with Ryan. Ryan's still a good friend, and they're still a big part of our league. The overall experience was fantastic.
What did you accomplish as the co-owner and CEO and president of the Mad MoonDogs?
Oh, well, the Mankato MoonDogs. Yep. So a good friend of mine, Mark Ogren, who is the majority owner, and we took it over, and it's in the Northwoods League, which is a wonderful league, and had a lot of fun. It's a collegiate wood bat. And I think what we really accomplished was we just kind of went in and worked with the existing staff and coaches, and we did pretty well on the field. And we also got the business going in the right direction, and we're a part of some really, really fun nights and promotions. So again, it was just kind of a labor of love. And, Mark Ogren is a dear friend of mine, and we just really enjoyed working together. And Mankato's a great city. They do a great job there. We did sell the team, but the new owners have done a wonderful job, and they continue to do really well.
What was it like owning the Stamp Hockey Club as the co-owner and CEO?
Same thing. Sioux Falls is a fantastic city. Love it. Stampede have done really, really well. Brian Schoenborn and Bob Nagley, whose family owned the Minnesota Wild in the beginning, were partners and are still friends. And, we got a great organization there, play in a wonderful building, the Denny Sanford Premier Center. The team does extremely well with fans and attendance. It's really well supported. And it's been very, very good on the ice too, 2 championships in the last, I think, 5 or 6 years. So all of it's just been fun. I don't have any complaints. It's been awesome.
What was it like getting into the baseball side of owning a baseball team for Sioux Falls Canadian?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, same thing. So it's the same city. The stadium's actually right across the street from the hockey arena, so that was convenient. A small walk, easy walk. And again, we built really good staffs, really good people, great baseball personnel. Mike Meyer took us last year to the championship series, and we Dual Higby, the general managers, are an excellent guy. The city was very supportive, and so it's just been a wonderful experience. So both have been really great.
What are some similarities and differences between owning a hockey team and a baseball team?
That's a really good question. They're different. It's funny. In Sioux Falls, which we own both at one time, obviously one's in the fall and winter and the other one's in the spring and the summer. And, you would think that the fans and the sponsors would kind of mirror each other, but they're a little bit different. So, I think the differences were, one was amateurs, the USHL is 16 to 20-year-old amateurs, and the other, the American Association, which is a great league, they're professionals. So, you have that kind of difference. So you have kind of younger to a little bit older. You have kids that aren't getting paid and players that are being paid. And the fan bases are a little bit different, more games in baseball than there is in hockey, longer kind of, home stands, things of that nature. So when you're looking to sell tickets or get sponsors on board, there's just little different nuances compared to the two. The hockey team, has 30 games compared to 50 plus games in baseball. Hockey may have a couple weekends in a row where you have back-to-back games, but in baseball, you might have a 9-10 game homestand. So there's just a lot of different kind of moving pieces, but they're both awesome.
What is the process of going about owning or co-owning and being the CEO of a sports league on any level?
I think it's the process. I guess my process is best way to apply it would be, I started from the bottom, so to speak. I started right at the very lowest level in sports. And I worked my way up and had wonderful mentors and wonderful organizations that, trained me and developed me and gave me resources, met a lot of wonderful people along the way. Just a lot of really, really great partnerships. I've met so many great people in sports that have helped me and have been a big part of the things that I've been able to do, I guess. And so ultimately through that process, I was able to meet some guys that, wanted to buy some teams and have some fun. And I had the ability and the opportunity to do that. And then subsequently it rolled me into, taking over a league. So, if somebody was asking me that question, just surround yourself with great people, learn as much as you can, try to do the best job you can do wherever you're at, whatever league you're in, whatever team you're with, learn how to sell, learn how to market, learn how to, put together everything from budgets to plans to all those things. And I think if you start doing those things, other doors open up and good things can happen.
What is Quaint Sports Marketing and what do you offer?
Well, it's a company I started in 2006. The movie Jerry Maguire. I was always a big fan of Jerry Maguire. And so Rod Tidwell talks about the Quan, which really symbolizes a vibe that it's not always about money, but it's about spirit and community and doing good things. So we started the company based on those principles. We wanted to be a successful business, but we wanted to work with enterprises and teams and communities that needed help and wanted our help, and that we could really see some, really bring some value to it. And, more than just making a dollar, it was to do the right things for these teams and owners and fans. So our company really specializes in sales and marketing consultation. So we do everything from hiring people, training people, kind of coming in, working with directors and VPs and senior level people on how to put their sales and marketing plans together that hopefully will end up meeting their budgets and the results and selling tickets and sponsorships. So we're a sales company, and that's what we focus on.
What was the transition like for you from going from being a co-owner and CEO of a sports team to now a commissioner of a league?
Again, really good question. I think the biggest transition for me, and I was lucky because when I was in the league, I knew a lot of the owners and I knew a lot of the people already in the league. So I had a little bit of a running head start. So I had run the team, I had been involved in a couple of different ownerships in Madison and Sioux Falls, and I ran Sioux Falls. And so I already knew the league. I was really happy with the league. I understood a lot of the things that went on. I had been on some committees, I'd been involved working with the league office, and I knew a lot of the owners. So I kind of hit the ground running. So the transition wasn't that difficult for me. Now the job itself has some challenges from time to time, just that's the way life is in general. But overall, at least from a transition, I felt very comfortable from day one. I felt very comfortable even, now. And I think I was very fortunate because of my time spent prior to becoming commissioner, running some teams in the league.
What did it feel like whenever you got the opportunity to become a commissioner and president of the USHL?
That felt great. It was awesome. I mean, I loved it. Still do. And the people have been really awesome to me, and I've met a lot of friends. But I mean, the feeling was really, really great. And when I first started selling tickets for the Minnesota North Stars way, way long ago, never in a million years thought that I would be someday a commissioner of a league and the commissioner of a great league. So I've been really, really lucky. So it felt great.
Who are some of the teams that are in your league?
So we have teams. Okay, so we go from as far west as Tri-City, which is in Kearney, Nebraska, to as far east as Youngstown, Ohio, and then we start up north with Fargo, and we go all the way down to Chicago. So we're predominantly a Midwest league, and we've got 5 teams in Iowa, Des Moines, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Sioux City, Waterloo. We've got 2 teams in the Dakotas, the Sioux Falls Stampede and the Fargo Force, 3 teams in Nebraska, Tri-City, Omaha and Lincoln, Chicago, Green Bay, Muskegon, Youngstown, and we also have the National Development Program. I don't think I'm missing anybody, but if I am, Madison, I mentioned Madison. So totally we have 16 teams, and it's a great league.
With the USHL, do you have where players can easily go into the NHL?
Yeah, that's the plan, but it's the first step of the longer plan. So the kids in our league are 16 to 20. Their next step would be to play college hockey. So we're fortunate that over 98% of our kids will get Division I college hockey offers, and then probably the remainder of them for sure will play some kind of college hockey. And then hopefully from there, during that journey, the better ones will be drafted, and then ultimately hopefully play in the NHL. But they all want to play in the NHL. But I think their first step is they're all going to play college hockey, and then from there, hopefully they get chances to play professionally somewhere after they're done.
What is the age range in your league?
It's 16 years old to 20. So, and then they're amateurs, so they don't get paid. And so if a kid or player, I should say, is, still in high school, they'll go to their community, and they may go to the local high school. Now there's a lot of, online schools that they will do and stuff, but the earliest you can get is 16, and you got to kind of opt out after 20.
Of course, what was the process like of becoming a commissioner?
Well, the process was interesting. So we've had some really good commissioners before me, and the commissioner prior to me decided he was going to go and do some different things, and so they were just looking to replace that role. And they asked me to be the interim commissioner, and why they did that. And so they interviewed a bunch of people, and for whatever reason, they couldn't work out a situation. And they came back and asked me if I'd be interested, and I was interested. So I was very flattered and very excited about throwing my name in. And then ultimately they offered me the position. So that's pretty much it. I started as an interim, and then I rolled it into a full-time role.
What is something that you learned now that you didn't know before becoming the co-owner of sports businesses and becoming a commissioner?
Wow, there's a lot that I didn't know before, and there's still a lot that I don't know now. I think the biggest thing that it's ever changing, and you got to stay in front of it. I think COVID really showed me a lot that there's a lot of things that sometimes are really out of your control. And we played an entire year this year during the pandemic, and we had a lot of support, and owners stepped up, and the league was fantastic, and the National Hockey League and USA Hockey and all of our partners and vendors stepped up, and everyone just really ran down the path together. And to think that we played the entire year and had a playoff and had a champion, it was just fantastic. And I think during that time, though, it really makes you understand that you have to constantly be looking around the corner, trying to understand the next moving piece. That might be a dramatic kind of process because the pandemic was global, and it's something that I had never experienced, and there was a lot of things about it that obviously no one had experienced those things. But I think you have to learn to adapt. You have to learn to try to do things the right way, the safest possible way. And so there was just a lot of things that we didn't know about going into it. We didn't know about it going into the next week, the next month, and we just tried to learn and talk to people who did know what they were doing, doctors and medical people. And it was a really good learning experience for me. Leadership, it was a good learning experience for me. Understanding, how we can get things done when it doesn't feel like you can't get things done. And so it ended up being a positive year for us. Financially, it wasn't necessarily the case, but from a league playing and developing the kids, it was a good year.
With being commissioner, do you still co-own or own any sports teams?
No, I'm done. I'm out. We just recently sold the baseball team, and then the hockey stuff, I had to be out of it before I could take over that job. So I didn't have any conflicts of interest. So I'm completely out of the sports ownership realm right now. And that was kind of, one of the things that everybody needed to see. And that's fair, because you can't be a commissioner and own a couple teams. That would cause a lot of trouble. So it's worked out great.
What are some of your future plans as commissioner?
Well, we just got done with our draft, and so that just finished up. And then I don't know, we have to really, I think, look at the league and where it's going, and coming out of the pandemic and dealing with some of the tough financial situations that our teams and are in, and some of the things we can do to help. So we're going to spend a lot of time on putting a 3-5 year plan together and making sure that we can come out of the situation that we ran through last year and try to, learn from it, as I said earlier, and then also try to, kind of get us back up and running. Because the owners, it took a financial toll on the owners to do that, which says a tremendous amount about them and their staffs and their fans and their players. So it's going to take some time to come out of it, but that's what we'll focus on.
What advice would you give somebody looking to own a sports team?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. Have fun. Hire a good staff. Hire the right people. Throw them the keys. Let them do their job. Enjoy it. It's supposed to be fun. Just hire a good staff. I think bring on qualified people. Bring on people that have the same vision and passion that you do. But if you're an owner, it's okay to throw the keys to somebody and let them run the team and just come to the games and enjoy it.
What advice would you have somebody looking to become a commissioner of a sports league?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I just thought I'd keep that vibe going. Again, kind of similar. Surround yourself with good people. I've been so fortunate in our league. We have the best league office. I should rattle them all their names off, but I'll miss somebody and I'll feel bad. They know who they are. I've been really lucky to surround myself with wonderful people who do all the heavy lifting, who do all the work, and then some great partners with the teams in our league and our vendors. So the only advice would be just surround yourself with good people.
Where can my listeners find, of course, the league at on social media and you at?
I'm sorry, could you say that again, please?
Where can my listeners find you at on social media and the league?
Well, I'm not on social media, so I'm one of those old dinosaurs. I don't do any of that stuff. I probably should, but you can go to USHL.com and that will direct you to all the stuff. So USHL.com, and then we're on all the social. And Brent Mischke, who does all of our communications, does a really nice job. Chris Teft, also does a wonderful job. So you can follow that via that website.
Thank you again, Tom Grantley, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as commissioner of the USHL.
Thank you so much, man. It was really great talking to you. You do a great job. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Tom, for your interview, and best of luck.
You too, buddy. Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.